Welcome to your art class, first graders. We're going to do a fun imagination picture and collage. And collage just means that we're tearing up paper. I'm going to have you make sure your mom and dad lets you have the magazines that they want torn up. I went through 3 magazines and cut out and tore out pieces of paper, different colors, different textures. And you can keep collecting these, and you want to save these for other projects because it's really kind of fun to have a lot of different things. So I've got some greens, I've got textures, I've got blues, I've got bright fuchsias and reds and oranges. So I started just collecting what I could find in my magazines, and beige, probably won't use that too much. And so basically I just tore out the sheets at this stage because I don't know what I'm going to use them for. So then put those in a box or something and keep saving them. So you have to be able to make lots of pictures with all of these papers. There's your color and your patterns. So what we're going to do today is I've made a shape of a bird to start with. What I'm going to do is I've given myself some simple shapes that I'm going to fill in with the papers. I'm going to be cutting out the papers into the shapes and gluing them down on top of this. So if I had been doing this with a regular art paper, I would have been putting it on my bird and then I would have been finishing it. But we're going to do, it's even more fun to do it with magazine pictures, which I don't have enough in my classroom for everyone. So when we start to do this, I've taken an orange piece that I found over here, and I started to cut out a circle that I thought, ooh, that would be kind of fun to make his head with stripes. And then I found this neat asteroid piece that I cut out a piece for his beak. So I'm not going to glue them down yet. I'm going to start playing with, because I might change my mind on a color. I love the texture in this dress. So if I cut out in here for this part of the body, I could cut out by doing a little folding, maybe even folding again, because the paper in the magazines is pretty thin. And let's see how many feathers I can come up with by just cutting a bunch of them right now. And then I'm going to have lots of these neat textured feathers to add to this bird. So where they stay connected, I can cut them apart. If they do that, that won't matter because it overlaps. So if I start my picture and I'm cutting up a lot of these nice textures, so there's some to start with. You can see if I start laying out my feathers, I can start laying my feathers on my bird's body to start building up my pattern. Might put even one of these down here on this part, or I might change his tail color. So I'm going to start to do that. I'm going to look for some other colors. Maybe up here I'll give him a red neck. He's going to be, again, a bird from my imagination, so I can kind of see when I hold it up how to add a piece in there. I can come in and this is what's nice about having all these colors. I can go, ooh, I love that color. How about that for a wing? Now I can cut out the whole wing. I can kind of look at my shape, make it a little bigger. And I can start thinking about if I want that contrast really nice with that green. I might make that same color some smaller feathers and at least have one of those colors in his tail. So maybe I'll come over here and look for some other shapes and colors, maybe for another feather down there. So you can see how I'm just, because I've got all of this paper pre-cut, that I can come along and I can start adding all of my things to make my collage picture. So a collage picture is made up of bits and pieces. At any point when you start to do it, you can start to see, gee, I'm going to move this around. That's why I haven't glued it yet. So maybe I want these up here to come out up that top part of his neck, because I think that makes a neat thing. So I'm going to tuck that in there, and I can start doing that. So when I start adding, I can have some coming from underneath and some coming from the top. So you can start to see the idea of what you're going to be doing with this picture. I'm going to definitely be adding something dark. I want a contrast here. So I cut out some it's kind of fun to even have words in your pictures, because this is, again, you're doing all these neat things, and they can just be part of the light hitting where his eye is going to be when that hits. Now I can come back and I can add background, or I can just do my whole bird all in the collage and leave my background plain, or I can come back and I can draw on that part and maybe put in the sun and some clouds or leaves in the tree. So that's up to you with your imagination. I hope you have fun with this project.